Well, we do. We do welcome in right now Christine Hanus, who is here to talk about just that. Bishop Reed as well. Christine, thank you so much for being with us.
Be here.
Let's talk about your inspiration for the book, if you could. What inspired you to write this book, and maybe give us a little hint at how this all began.
Sure. The book is actually called Everyday Heroism, and then the subtitle is 28 Daily Reflections on the Little Way of Motherhood. So motherhood started for me when I was about 23 years old. And for my personality, some women are different, but for my personality, right away, I realized that the ideal that I had looking forward to marriage and motherhood and how it was going to, be really meaningful and it was going to fulfill all of my dreams for life. I realized pretty quickly that that it was a humble job, that it left me with, I was a stay-at-home mom, so it left me with some feelings of like, how am I really using my gifts and talents, and what's God going to do through me? Because I had a really strong relationship with God already at that point, and I have a really strong desire to evangelize and encourage other people and share the faith with people. It's so transformative, and yet I was just home with these babies. So that was the genesis of the book, as I started really kind of reflecting on motherhood, and then Saint Therese's little way, and how when we want to do great things for God, that's a really often just a very simple day in, day out, just being really faithful. As Saint Therese said, picking up a pin for the love of God, we can save a soul. So just trying to see how all the duties that we have as moms, even if we are, just with our children most of the day, can really not only transform us, but transform the world. So I started writing, and it actually took me a really long time to kind of get this off the ground. And I think of it as a collaboration between my younger self and my older self, because my younger self gathered a lot of the information, wrote a lot of the book, and then my older self really meditated on all of that and asked myself, okay, is this stuff that women can really use, that is really going to help them in this journey of motherhood?
Christina,
And so yeah.
Christina, I'm glad you brought that up, because a little birdie told me that you actually began writing this just a couple years ago when you were 35, and that this has been a process. So, what inspired that process, and how did it all kind of miraculously come together?
Well, so I started writing really when I was 35.
Which is like 2 years ago, right?
No.
Approximately.
And putting that together. And then when I was in my 40s, I really started editing it and just tightening it up and trying to make sure that it was really something that would stand the test of time. And in my own experiences, my kids got older, I asked myself, okay, is this stuff that really did work for me? And is this really what I want to be sharing with other women? And so I edited, and then eventually, I'm actually 52, and I just published it this year because, it's all in God's timing.
Yeah. Maybe if you could, too, share with us, Christina, a lot of moms are feeling overwhelmed with all that's going on. As you mentioned, and too, there's so much to do. And maybe if you could talk about that and how to deal with that, I guess, as moms kind of experience all the things that are hitting them from all sides.
Sure. Yeah. This book really speaks to that. That's why I think that it was primarily written with the mom in mind, who is a Catholic mom, who wants to grow in her relationship with God and wants her life to be meaningful and wants her family to get to heaven. But she's had this ideal in her mind, and now it's collided with reality, or she's experiencing struggles. So I try to keep the book lighthearted with some, fun stories and things just to make you smile. But it really deals with the reality of the fears of women and the struggles of women and the challenges of family life, and how when we just draw close to God in the simple daily ways, in our daily duties, that God meets us there, and that that we're truly transformed personally, and we're given the grace that we need by God to, navigate this difficult world. So keep things positive, but yeah.
Can you just tell me, is there anything that you know now as a mom that you wish you knew when you first started writing this book? That's a big question.
I would say that when I was younger, I was trying to do it all, quote unquote, right. And I was trying to find the things that would make my children be, I wouldn't say perfect, but just how to do things right. And as I went along, I realized it's all about staying close to Jesus. It's about intimacy with Jesus. It's about setting up your life and your family life in a way that keeps you connected with your faith and with Christ. It isn't so much about how you clean your bathroom and how you discipline your kids, even though that's super important. It's about love. It's about, staying close to Christ and making that the priority of your life.
So we get people watching right now, curious. They may be moms themselves. They might have a friend who's a new mom. 28 Reflections on the Little Way of Motherhood, this everyday heroism. First of all, what's the main takeaway that you want moms to have from reading the book, and where can they get a copy?
I want women to use this book to draw closer to Christ. Basically, it's a devotion as well as sort of a explanation. And at the end of each chapter, there's opportunity for prayer and reflection. So if people use this book, but it doesn't help them grow closer to Christ in really practical ways, I consider it a failure. So that's the main takeaway. And then you can go on my website at christinehanus.com or on Amazon and just search Everyday Heroism, 28 Daily Reflections on the Little Way of Motherhood. And you can buy it at either place.
Very good, and I encourage people to do just that. And ask you a favor, as a mom, if you could remember my sister Nancy. She has 7 kids. She recently lost one of her children tragically. So if you could keep my sister Nancy in your good prayers, I'd be grateful.
Absolutely, I would love to do that.
All right, Christine, thank you so much. We look forward to getting Everyday Heroism into a lot of hands, and have a wonderful rest of the day.
Thank you. God bless you.
God bless you too.
Okay,
Thank you.
bye-bye.